Right out of the gate, this is already a disaster scenario. Being charged again while on bond tells the court one thing loud and clear: rules aren't working. And when judges see that, they start thinking containment, not second chances.
You're Carly Davis and Carly Hoosier, and this is 24 DCCR 1385 and 25 DCCR 1237. And so the state we were going to be here on reviewing bond conditions, correct? And then the state has filed a motion to increase the bond.
Yes, Judge.
And is that in both of the cases or just that one?
Both cases, Judge.
Let me pull this up. I know I took a look at it last week, but and so we've got both of these cases are driving while intoxicated, third or more. The first offense date is from May 6th of 2023. The second from February 10th of 2025. Give me just a second here. Oh, it's working. It's just working slow.
This is where pattern recognition kicks in. Courts don't just judge incidents, they judge behavior over time. 1 DWI might be a mistake. 5? That's a pattern the law treats as a public safety threat.
So we've got some history with regard to prescriptions. Some of it's obviously very hard to read, but it looks like prescriptions for alprazolam and something called D-amphetamine. Okay. Can't tell the date. One of them specifically says no refills. Read the dates on this.
We can get better photos, Judge. She has had that prescription for.
It shows it expires October of 20. This October 31st for the.
Judge, I had a number of questions about those photos myself. I mean, I'm not necessarily. Well, I guess I am questioning the validity. This doctor that allegedly prescribed this Rajan, they say there's either an Austin address or a Milburn, Texas address. When I looked him up through the Texas Medical Board, I'm just a little curious about.
So where do you go to the doctor? Where's this doctor from?
From Beaumont, and I do a telemed every month except for the secretary's office.
Today?
Yes,
Where specifically?
telemed today.
Oh,
Whoa, this is a turning point. When a judge starts fact-checking your doctor mid-hearing, that's not routine, that's suspicion. At this moment, credibility is slipping fast, and once that's gone, everything else becomes an uphill battle.
well, here's what I think I'm going to do based on the nature of what these medications are and the history. Well, are you driving? Okay, I don't know if I already did, but a condition of your bond is going to be, as of today, that you are not allowed to drive any vehicle ever, period. Okay? So if you're caught driving, obviously you'll be right back in jail probably without a bond. Mr. Coleman, other than a no driving.
And there it is, the hammer drops. A full driving ban. This isn't symbolic, it's strategic. The court is cutting off the risk factor entirely. No driving, no chance to reoffend behind the wheel.
Is there any other
You know, Judge, I just would like to reiterate, and we put it in our motion, and it sounds like the court's read the motion, but you know, she's got 4 previous DWIs, Judge, and in addition, she picked up this latest DWI while out on bond for a DWI.
Right.
And that, along with the positive drug test, I think the public safety, community safety demands some additional assurances.
And Judge, our argument would be that the DWI itself is for the medications. She's been on these medications for.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're on medication and you're
Right.
taking too much medication, then that's a problem.
Sure.
So you can be on these medications and not be.
Also, the failure of the drug test was for these medications.
Right, I understand that. My biggest concern is the fact that if the medications are not being taken properly or too much of the medications, then that's a larger concern with the safety, and I completely understand and agree with Mr. Coleman on that. How'd you get here today? Here's what I want you to do, what I'm going to order you to do. I'm going to order that at your appointment, I'm requiring you to find out and with your doctor, get a prescription for something that is non-narcotic. So something that is not going to cause these issues if in fact our concern is that you are misusing or overusing these medications, then there's other medications that you can take. You need to talk to him today. I want you on your way to be off of both of these medications and on something that...
This is actually fascinating. This isn't just punishment, it's intervention. The judge is stepping into what's called therapeutic justice. Instead of just locking her up, the court is trying to fix the root problem, possible substance misuse.
would not lead to the issues that you're having. Does that make sense? You need to get that information from him, find out what he can prescribe. I want those to Ms. DeLage, and I want her to get those to me. That is a condition of your bond at this point. If you don't do that today at that appointment and get that information to her, then I'm going to, what I'll do today is not rule on Mr. Coleman's motion. So that motion to raise your bond is still out there. And if you don't get this information and you don't get this done today, then your bond will likely be raised and you'll be in jail. Do you understand? All right.
My question is, the medication to get off of it abruptly can cause.
I understand that. I'm not saying you have to get off of it abruptly. I'm saying I want the plan and how you're going to do it, what it's going to be reduced to, what it's going to take its place, whatever it is. I want that. You need to tell him that you have been ordered to get off the medications, but obviously that needs to be done in a medical way, but I want whatever that plan is and how you're going to do that, and I want that to Ms. DeLay so she can get it to me tomorrow. Okay? All right, y'all are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And just like a Netflix episode, new character, same theme, accountability. But here's the twist. This one's on probation already. So the real question is, how many chances is too many?
All right, so you're James Lofton?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Lofton was previously in court. Now, the misdemeanor is something that, remind me, why do I have that
He
on?
was supposed to have pled to his misdemeanor several resets
Right.
ago each time prior to coming down here, because our plan is to have him, we had talked about
To extend
ISF,
probation and ISF.
but now it is for safety if the court considers based on this update PSI, but obviously we can't do that until he pleads his misdemeanor.
Well, I can do that today, and he can go into custody, and y'all can go take care of it.
That's what I was just going to.
Because he'll sit in custody until he goes and
Correct.
takes care of that other case, because
That's
he won't go. All right. So in cause number 16-24485, first year James Lofton. Mr. Lofton was previously in court, and that is a motion to revoke probation. On probation for the third-degree felony of assault, family violence. It was a 5-year deferred at one point, and then In February of 2020, that probation was revoked and given a 10-year term that was probated for 5 years, so went to a straight probation, placed on high medium caseload and zero tolerance. I've received the updated pre-sentence report also. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, ma'am.
I have her.
Any additions or corrections to that?
No, ma'am, the only thing I would say is since ESI is that we have, this last week, we have gone and taken a drug test of on occupational, my client has, is that I have those drug test results.
That's not going to change
Okay.
what I do based on the nature of that examination and the substance abuse evaluation. I'm going to follow those. I appreciate that he stayed clean for some amount of time,
Yes, ma'am.
but if I'm going to follow after what I just said with regard to the
Yes,
nature of where we've gone on this, he looks like there's a new misdemeanor, driving while intoxicated, second, and that was from December of 2023. We're just finally getting here, so I'm going to do what's necessary, I think, if I'm going to leave him on probation, to keep everybody safe.
Like I said earlier, Mr. Barrington and I had previously discussed after we both reviewed the PSI that safety may very well be.
Yeah. That's what it appears from that evaluation, and so I rely on them and their
Yeah.
evaluation to say
ma'am.
what's best, and they're talking about the not just the regular safe P, but special needs safe P, so that it covers everything from mental health to drug treatment to everything else that would be necessary, hopefully, for Mr. Lofton to finally be able to complete this probation. In addition, I will have to, and not just have to, but I will need to extend and plan on extending that probation period as well, because it's up either already or this year, and it's only pending because of the motion. Is that right? Okay. All right. So anything else with regard to that updated report, or with me going forward with sentencing?
No, ma'am, other than the fact that he is working, I have his employer here, I'd like to hear from him. We would ask that, the recommendation initially was ISF, and we would ask the court to consider ISF and sentencing instead, because he has been working with stable employment with his employer for more than a year and a half now, has had stable housing as far as that goes, and so we feel like that him going to safety would cause financially devastating for him. And so we would ask that he be allowed to go to ISF and then have more strict monitoring on weekly reporting and weekly drug tests with zero reporting.
Ms. Malfino?
I defer to the court's discretion here, just my review of the PSI safety is
And so with regard to Ms. Jefferson, you initially also agreed that ISF with being on the high-risk caseload after would be appropriate. Is that your, what are your thoughts?
Yes, that was my initial recommendation. But I also included that I don't know much about his case because he had absconded for, I believe, over 2 years.
Yeah. And it looks like there was tested positive for methamphetamine August 14th, last month, denied using it, but stated he had used a month ago, but tested positive for it. So I'm trying to see what specifically, why special needs.
I don't believe there was any sort of psychiatric.
I didn't see that either, so I'm not
That
real
was
sure.
kind of what, the only question I had about it was.
I don't think we need-
Special needs is generally
It is, if there's
more
some
of a
type,
psychological type situation.
we don't have that, so it's just
No.
regular. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Mr. Lofton, I am going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 and 2 freely and voluntarily.